So let's go there because they gave me the opportunity to choose the bar.
Yes.
So I was there waiting for them. They came. We sit outside. There's a terrace and inside. The bartenders, they were two girls, super nice. We pick up. We pick up the drink. We went to sit and we started drinking. We finished the first round. We went back. We took the second round, and randomly a man showed up and speaking, not in good English, like, guys, you have to leave now. Leave now. Private party. You are not welcome here. Leave now. Take your drink and go. In the same time, I was like, is this a homeless guy? No. He was serious saying that, and I saw him going back inside the bar. And then I like, okay, I took my drink and I went back to the waiters. The ladies are like, what's happening? And this girl was embarrassed. She was sorry to tell him that, I'm sorry, we have to leave. She was telling me that, like, sorry. And I'm like, sorry for what?
Thank you guys for tuning in to today's episode. I hope today's episode is going to be entertaining and is also going to be educative. Because we are here to bring you guys education and edutainment. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you at the other side. Welcome, Edem. Welcome. I want to welcome you first of all. I first of all appreciate your time for taking your time to be here on this episode of today. I know you as Edem, but I would like you to introduce yourself in your own words and where you come from.
Thank you for having me. I'm Edem. I'm from Togo. I was born and raised in Togo. I've been living here in Budapest for the past 6 years. I'm very glad to be on your podcast today to share my experience about how my roots, my journey, my experience, everything that I've been facing and all you guys have been facing also. And I'll be glad to share my experience with you guys today.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we get into your experience, first you mentioned that you're from Togo.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know Togo. Because some people that are going to be watching today, they're going to say Togo. And they're also going to do their research.
Yeah.
So to help some of the people that are going to do their research, let's get into Togo first. Togo is a beautiful country.
Yeah.
I'm from Cameroon and I know about Togo. I know a lot of beautiful things about Togo. And while I was doing my own research about Togo, which we're also going to get into, what are some of the beautiful highlights that you can share with us about Togo? Things that we can know. If someone wants to travel to Togo, like what are the significant things that is close to your heart?
Yeah, okay. For those people who doesn't know, I'm gonna give a little bit of geographic lesson.
Mm-hmm.
So Togo is a small country located in West Africa between Ghana and Benin. So we have a small access to the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, mm-hmm. and 70 million people live there. And we speak, the official language is French because we have this past history with colonization with France, and the country got its freedom in 1960.
Yeah.
So if I want to go a bit in details, also think that a lot of people don't know is that Togo have never been officially colonized by France as a country, but was colonized by Germany.
Yes.
So after the wars, all the countries that were colonized by Germany was given to France and Great Britain, British. So this is how Togo have been divided into countries. One part give to Ghana that speak French and English today, and small part stay for France, and we speak French. Mm-hmm. So in Togo, and as for all the African countries, before the colonization, there were no border, there was no country, we were kingdoms. So it was much more bigger. You watch the movie, The Woman King, it's something like that also, because we are close to the Benin Kingdom, uh-huh. We are close to Ghana, we are almost somewhere there. We can understand people from Benin, we can understand people from Ghana. Mm-hmm. It's a peaceful country because it's very diverse. They speak there officially 20 languages. Mm-hmm. That's meaning any cities in this country speaks different language. If you are from the northeast, central east, west, you might speak different language. Personally, my mom speaks different language. My father also, because my mom is from the north, my father is from the south. So I do speak both language plus French. So growing up in this kind of environment make you say things differently, because if we go deeply also, 200, 400 years, people who was living there are not from Togo. We're coming from Central Africa. We're escaping some war in Nigeria. I remember sometime when I meet people from Nigeria and I tell them, my name is Edem, and they're like, you look like someone from Calabar. I was like, go and ask your grandfather, where do you come from? And apparently, according to our history, Togo, Eve. So this tribe, we are coming from somewhere in Nigeria. We escaped, the history said that we escaped a wicked king that wanted to enslave their population. So we escaped there, and we my grandfathers, they did this trip until Togo and stayed there. And after the German people arrived, they built the country. You know the story, how they split Africa and make borders without thinking about the cultures. And yeah. So out of that, I would say it's a nice place to go. It's peaceful, it's beautiful. Every part of this country have story from the south to the north. It's very connected, and people are very welcome. Like anywhere in Africa, the difference is a plus. If you are different, you are welcome. I think this is how people take advantage of us in West Africa, and did this slavery trade 100 years ago, because we are raised to like people who are different to us. Personally, if I go to Nigeria, Ivory Coast, and I have been there many times, when I'm staying in neighborhood and people know that I'm not from there, they want to invite me to try their food. They want to ask me if I know this place, if I like the country, if I have friends, if I got a girlfriend, if I want to, how do I see? People want, when you are different, this is how people are in Africa. The more you are different, the more they like you, because they think you're going to bring them something. It's not just for other African, but even though you are white or yellow, whoever you are different, you are welcome. You can run your business, you can settle down there. This is how we are there. So I grew up with this culture to always embrace the difference, to always be open to people. You can never live in the neighborhood without knowing your neighbors. Without anyone know your name. This is impossible. I cannot talk about every country in Africa, but I have been to many countries. I know it's the same in Cameroon also. Everywhere you go, people live in community in Africa. No matter how, you must know your neighbor, the person who's living the next door. You must know his name. It is a fact. So this is how we were raised. So the first time that I left my country was when I was 26 or 27 years old. That was the time I went to India for 11 months. And India also was the same for me, because these people are very warm. They embrace the culture. I feel in India that I was different.
Before you left your country and went to India, what prompted you? What was the reason?
Okay. Well, when I was in university, I was a member of this amazing organization called Assah. It's an international organization. In this organization, I was very active members, and I was the president of the organization. And what we promote in this organization is international opportunities, and that we have a lot of global companies across the world who support the program that we do, the action program. And I was running this program for 1 year. So I have sent a lot of people abroad for international talent. I have received also a lot of Europeans there coming to Africa for NGOs project. And I have seen the change in their life. Imagine a German girl or a Finnish girl who 20 years old decided to come to Togo without any expectation, and his life or her life have changed. and you see how people change their perspective about people, their culture. When they go back their country, they say it, the story they tell about it. And I also wanted this thing for me. And all these people that I have worked with and have been outside Togo and took the opportunity to work in different countries, I've seen the story and I was like, okay, I want this also for me. So when I end my university and I end also my contract with Isaac, I decided to take this opportunity. And that time we have this big global company, Indian company, who offer a lot of opportunities. So I just went there, and it was for me. It was 1 year international experience.
Yes.
For me, in that time, my dream was not to live abroad, but I wanted to have this experience. I wanted to go out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, I think that this is important because sometimes people need to know the background story.
Yeah.
So you sharing this background story of how you left
Yeah.
in Togo to India
Yeah.
is very important because you left through the organization called Isaac.
Yeah.
It is very nice. So now you came to India.
Yeah.
So what was your experience? Was that the first time you left Africa?
Yeah.
The continent Africa?
Yeah. That was the first time I have lived somewhere. I've been to many places in Africa, but the maximum days I've spent is 2 weeks. Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Burkina Faso for international conference through Isaac also. But the first time that I have an international experience was India. So living alone, a new country, 1 billion population. I'm coming from a small city. Even my capital city is 1.7 million, but I was living in a city with 12 million people.
Which city?
Bangalore. I was living in Bangalore. It's a south, central south a bit. And of course, I was not the only one. For this program, I met a lot of people from South America, all those countries, Brazil, Peru, who came also for this program. So I have a bit of connection in other countries from Africa also.
And how long did you spend in India?
The program is for 1 year. So I spent 11 months. It was amazing. I made a lot of friends. I visited a lot of places, famous places in India. And I learned this culture. The food's amazing. Nobody can deny this. They have amazing culture. They are warm people. You know you are different. From India, I understand that even though there's black people, dark-skinned people in India, but I felt that I was different. Even the same people that have the dark skin like you, they look at you and they want to take a picture with you. And they just realize that no matter how dark your skin is, but we know you are different. We know you are not from here. We can see how your hair look, your face feature. And from that moment, I started put in my mind the differences. Like every time I go somewhere, I know like, okay, I might be different there.
Because the hospitality was welcome.
No, I cannot complain about India.
That's amazing.
I know. I cannot complain. There's a lot of thousand things that I can complain about India, but the hospitality, I make friends with my neighbors. They know me. Every time I order something on Amazon and I'm not home, they just give it to anyone in the building. And the next day, the person will ring my bell like, oh, yesterday the delivery guy was here, you were not here, he kept it in my place. My co-workers will invite me for their sisters and uncle wedding. They always, I never feel lonely there. And nobody does.
I feel like the media is not doing a good justice because what most of the time comes out from the media about India is most of the time is negative.
Yeah, negative.
And for me, I think it's very nice that your own experience about India is different from what the media always shows. They're always showing the negative aspect. Negative.
Yeah.
Just like every country has a negative aspect. But I think that when it comes to certain areas or certain parts of the world, they're all showing the negativity. And I think that you saying completely contrary to what the media says is actually amazing.
No, it's an amazing country. It's growing fast. The population is growing. The economy is growing. They are leading the world, and that's what people don't want to see. And they are very open-minded about cultures, the differences. Like for me, of course, the medias are trying to show the India poverty, these kind of things, but every country has these kind of things like that. Then I think we people coming from, I don't know, I cannot say only Africa or any other third world country that they used to say. Whenever
I don't like this word third world country.
we have to name it so that they can understand what I'm talking about.
Yes, but I don't
Okay.
like. I don't like. I don't
Any
like.
any person can, even me, I don't like this
I don't
word,
like
but
the
I don't
word,
know.
because
Sometimes we need to name it.
Because when somebody says third world, what's the meaning of
I
third
don't.
world?
I don't.
What does third world means? Who is first world? Who's
They,
second
they
world?
divide the words 1, 2, 3. So you guys are third world. You live with the minimum, the basics.
But it's a man-made construction.
And this one we don't go to this topic, because if you want to talk about what they call basic, what they call be happy, we don't have same definition.
Yeah, no, because I hear most of the time people use the word third world, and it irks me.
It's
So
what
I
we
need to- I need to
have.
mix
We
it.
learn in
Yeah.
geography lesson to identify our country to other developed country that they call developed based on some standard that they fix it. That this is not the topic.
Because
So
all these standards that they're using, it's I can say it's a standard which stems from the West. So
yeah.
It's a Western standard
Yeah,
of seeing things.
Yeah.
I don't think that the Western are the standard of the world.
Exactly.
So it doesn't mean that it's the Western people say it's a standard. So now, let's shift from there.
Yeah.
You were in India for a year, and then they moved from India to Hungary.
No, from India, I went back home.
Oh.
I went back home because I cannot go, even though the company immediately after the 11-month program, they gave us an offer that they have a delivery center in Budapest for the Central Europe, and in that time they're looking for international talents and people who has some language skills like French, Spanish, all those, and of course, some of my colleagues from South America, I remember Brazil, Peru, immediately from India, they were able to shift to Hungary because they don't need visa. I need visa. So I went back to my country, stayed there for 6 months, applied the visa, got rejected.
Yes.
Reapply again, redo a new documentation showing that my fathers have a lot of money that can take care of me if I get in Hungary, and I didn't get a job. But the job was already there, the interview was already there, the contract was already signed. But they say, what we want to prove that if you show up here, if something happened, the company denied you the first day, how will you pay back your flight home? So I have to prove all those things. So I prove it, and luckily this time they accept my visa, and this is how I came in Budapest. I was able to come to Budapest in September 2019, few months before COVID.
So you came here as an expat?
Yes.
As a skilled expert?
Skilled expert. I have already completed the interview. I already signed the pre-contract. I know my salary. Someone was waiting for me at the airport to pick me up, to assist me to get an accommodation. I had everything. I didn't came here to seek for opportunity. The opportunity was already here, was coming.
So the question I want to follow up, what was your first impression when you came to Hungary? Do you still remember that first impression when you landed here?
Yes, I remember like few days before I flew to Hungary, one of my friends, she's Hungarian and she had been living in Africa. When I told her that I got a visa and go to Hungary, she was so happy. She lived in Benin. She drove all the way to Togo. She escorted me to the airport. But in the airport, she told me, Edem, I have to tell you something. My country is racist.
She's Hungarian?
She's Hungarian. Now she lives in London. She's married with a man from Benin. She always goes to Benin every time. And she told me, my country is racist. If you are going to my country, don't expect people to smile to you like how people do in Africa here. You have to be prepared. People are not nice there. They're gonna stereotype you. You're gonna be seen. You're gonna be treated like you have no idea. But you have to be prepared. In the airport, she told me that, and she gave me a small paper. She wrote me numbers like Magiaro. She wrote me Bonaparte. All those important expressions that I needed. And when I was in the flight, I was like, "What's happening there?" I don't know many information about Hungary, but I didn't know all those things. So I was landing Hungary with zero expectation. Zero expectation. I was like, no matter what's gonna happen, it's gonna be a new chapter of my life. So whatever gonna happen. So I came here. I fell in love with the city. I like the architecture. It's amazing, beautiful places. The streets are adorable, but the people, And the first week I was feeling, every time I was on call with my parents, I was like, I feel like I'm the only one who live in this building. Because I don't hear anyone noise. I don't see any kids. Nobody's going out, of course. And I feel like I'm alone. If I'm going out, I'm like, I feel like this place, everybody mind his business. Nobody saying hi to you when he meets you in the common area, like the elevator, the stairs, the back here, anyone. Nobody's talk to you. I started the next Monday. I show up in the office. I have half of my team are expat, but the other half are Hungarian also. The only people that I could have connect with was people expat also. But the Hungarian, nobody want to know where you live in the city, which part of the city you live. Nobody doesn't want to know if you have already tried this food. I was just comparing Hungary to the experience that I have in India, because every time people was like, have you tried this food? Have you been to this bar? Have you go to this restaurant? Have you been to this place? In the place, like, nobody asks you that. No Hungarian colleague was asking me if I've tried this, if I'm even willing to learn the language. Nobody cares.
So your friend told you that before coming to Hungary, and then when you came here, your expectation that she said racism. Since you have been in Hungary, have you experienced it?
Well, saying that I haven't experienced this, it will be a big lie. Yes, racism can be manifest different way.
Yes.
Racism is not just someone telling you, oh, this is not your place. Oh, sorry, I don't like people of color. Or you are discussing. No, this is so primitive.
Yeah.
The racism today is different ways.
Exactly.
Looking for a house. You show up and the person will tell you that the place has been already given to someone.
Accommodation.
The accommodation, looking for an apartment. Listen, be in the streets. How many times I was in the street in summer and ladies try to touch me with their hand and saying, sure. It's a compliment. But in the same time, I don't know if I was Cristiano Ronaldo, let's say is one of, I don't know who, Jesus Christ, he's very handsome, if he really exists. In the street, do you think a white woman will see a man and will allow herself permission to touch this man like that and say, beautiful? Do you think they will do that if the person was white? No, they did it because I was black. She can allow herself, she see me exotic and she me without power. She can allow herself to touch me in the street like that without permission.
And what was your response to that?
I was terrified in the same way that I respect a woman because she might be a certain age, like 40, over early 40 or late 50, something like that. And there were two women, and many times it happened to me. Not in a party, but a random street, minding my business. You see, as a man, I'm just talking about just as a man, I'm just imagining how my sisters, what are going through. But just that, like feeling that someone can allow himself or herself to see you in a certain way and express something like that. And I was like, you don't do that. Respect. You don't put your hand in someone's hair to touch without permission. I also grew up in Africa, and in Africa we don't have a lot of white people. When we grew up, the first time I see a white person was 1998. I remember, but I think I never allowed myself to touch her hair or touch her skin without her permission. I just know she was different. She was working from an NGO or whatever, something like that. But if I will touch her hair to see how the texture is different, I will ask her a permission.
Yeah.
But here they don't ask a permission. They allow themselves to teach you. That means they think they are superior. And after a while, I got used to that. I got used to be seen differently. To people can invite themselves in their life like that. But what shocked me recently and was like, I was chased out from a bar. That was something.
Yeah, I saw.
I said it.
It happened recently, right?
It's happened in August. I'm the kind of person who I use this racism card as a last card, a joker when you're playing.
Can you give us a background story and what happened to that? And how you guys were in the bar, seated, drinking, and they just came and chased you guys out?
It was the middle of summer, end of summer, and 3 other friends of mine, same country, one live in Germany, 2 live in Budapest. They invite me surprisingly. Hey, what are you doing? Let's hang out. 5 p.m. I just show up at the bar. Because this bar, I know them because I've been there many times, like more than 5 times. So let's go there because they gave me the opportunity to choose the bar.
Yes.
So I was there waiting for them. They came. We sit outside. There's a terrace and inside. The bartenders, they were 2 girls, super nice. We pick up the drink. We went to sit and we started drinking. We finished the first round. We went back. We took the second round. And randomly a man showed up and speaking not in good English like, guys, you have to leave now. Leave now. Private party. You are not welcome here. Leave now. Take your drink and go. In the same time, I was like, is this a homeless guy? No. He was serious saying that, and I saw him going back inside the bar. And then I like, okay, I took my drink and I went back to the waiters. The ladies are like, what's happening? And this girl was embarrassed. She was sorry to tell him that, I'm sorry. You have to leave. She was telling me that, like, sorry. And I'm like, sorry for what? She's like, you have to leave. I was like, we just started drinking now. I was like, do you want to refund us? And she, yes. And she gave us back the money. For the drink that we just ordered. And my friends said, like, no, we are not leaving. They have to refund us the whole amount of the drink we have drinking because they wasted our time. And we started making noise. We're going to call the police. And the owner, he came back and went to the next bar, called the security guy, and the security guy showed up like, guys, calm down. There's a camera up there. If don't try to do something, everything is under camera, CCTV. I was like, we're not going to break anything. We want you to call the police. We want our money to refund fully, and we want the police so that you can explain to police why we cannot stay here.
Mm-hmm.
But the police never showed up. Nobody cares in the bar. People were just minding their drink, the business they were drinking. And I make a big scene that I was like, do you speak English? He said, no, we don't speak. Like, you speak English. You can understand me. I'm going to talk to you. We are here. Tonight, we're going to go on Instagram. We're going to post that, free Gaza, free whatever. But in front of us, when there is something, injustice happening in front of you, what have you done? It starts from action. Yeah. In front of you. You guys, all of you sitting here, drinking your coffee, your beer, in front of you, 4 other people are chasing out without doing anything. And you just mind your business. And you want the world to change. You want freedom for Gaza, for any other country that's in situation of war.
So it's, in other words, there's a lot of internet warriors, but not real life warriors.
Exactly. That's our society now. People are just sorry that something's happened, but they're not doing any action. When something, if it's my country, I would show up there. If I was there, like, hey, what's happening? Is this a language barrier? I can try to communicate between the 2 parties to know what's happening. Nobody tried to understand why these 4 people was chasing out of this bar. Nobody tried to. In this time, in that moment, when I went home, I wanted to cry. But I couldn't. In the same time, I didn't claim the word racism because this for me is a joker. Is a last card I used to play in every situation. So few days after that, when I went to my barber shop, a Nigerian man, and he told me that, oh man, you used to say you have always been to this bar. And this is not the first time. Why this time is happening to you? And then I realized that the previous time that I've been to this bar, I've been there with other people, but not black people. Like Brazilian, Hungarian, other people. So I was like, well, am I living in apartheid time in South Africa? We are in 2025 and I need to show up in some places with other white people. If not, I will be chased out. And this barber, he gave me a list of places in Budapest that you cannot show up alone as a black person or accompanied by other black people. You have to show up with other white people. If not, the security guard will not let you in. And I was like, this is crazy.
For me, this is actually very and it's very embarrassing. First of all, because you are an expert, you are a skilled worker here. It means that you have money. You understand? You have never been a benefactor of the social system here, and this is things that people are not very educated about. Hungary does not really have a social system. For example, if you have lived here for a long time and you become unemployed, you will receive minimum 3 months unemployment benefits. 3 months. And after that, you have to start taking care of yourself independently. So I think that and 100% most immigrants or most expats or skilled workers that come to Hungary that are working and living in Hungary have not been benefactors of the social system because they don't really have a social system. It's mostly the Hungarians that are benefiting from the social system. And you as an expat that is working here in Hungary, that you're having money to go out and spend on yourself, you're buying your own drinks, you're actually an asset to the system. So when you go to a bar or you go somewhere and they limit you or they chase you out, it means that that business or that establishment, they do not understand the premises of business. They don't know what business is all about. So I think that education is very lacking. And these are things that we don't speak about it enough, because some people are always following and they are always jumping on the bandwagon, without proper information. They look at you, they think that, oh, you came from a different country and you're benefiting from our country. So you're taking away our money.
Taking a job.
You're taking our job. But they forget to know that your company hired you all the way from Togo. Reasons being that they need you, they need your skills. Because they did not find somebody in Hungary or within Europe that has your skills. Because there's a law in Europe that before you hire somebody out of Europe, you have to search within the country first. If you cannot find a proper skilled person in that country, you look within Europe, within the other EU countries. And if you cannot find someone there, you go outside of EU. People don't know this, that you came from your country skilled with some skills, very unique skills that people here in Hungary don't have. So I feel like there is not enough information. And when somebody sees you and they see someone that they don't ask the right question, they see you and they think that you're a threat. And they see your skin color and they are lamenting on your skin color instead of appreciating the difference. Because we are all unique and different. And for me, this irked me a little bit because I feel like the system itself is not doing justice, because they have all put us in one basket as an illegal immigrant and there's a word called a refugee. A refugee is a person that is fleeing their country for specific reasons.
Seeking for protection.
Yes, seeking for protection because they are running from certain issues. And there are people that most Africans or most foreigners that are here in Hungary, they came here legally. Like you and me and other people that I know, they came here legally. And these are information that I think that we need to put out so that people know the proper information. It's not everyone that you see that is not a Hungarian that came here illegally. You understand? So for me, I think that this information are very important. If people can know more and do their own proper research, do their own reading, rather than always depending and relying on chewed information or mainstream media, they get distracted from finding out the real information that can be progressive. But anyway, since this incident happened to you, how do you feel about Hungary after that? What is your impression? Do you think that because for me, I think that when you become a victim of racism, it's deeper than just words. It then affects you mentally. Because you ask yourself questions like, am I worthy?
Exactly.
Why is my color such a factor? How is your mental health since the incident?
Honestly, I have been going through a lot of things, and I have started doing therapy because of that, because of asking this constant question to yourself: if you are enough, if why why your difference is a problem. What the hell has black people done to the whole world to be discriminated wherever you go? You constantly ask this question to yourself, but the answer for us is to speak. We need to speak. We need people to know that we have been taught that to forget that what's happened in the past, the slavery, the colonization, everything, and to face to the future and the present. But no, we have to remind people that what happened is still happening. We are living in a moment that we have access to everything, the internet, everything. There's still flight to go everywhere in the world now. We have AI, we have everything, every tool so that we can connect. But people still living that, like how people were living in the Middle Age. They don't want to they don't want to have access to information. They are brainwashed. Like what you said now, I need to say it again. The reason why a lot of people are coming to this country is because they are talented, and before they was choosing to come here, this company they tried to hire here in Hungary. They couldn't find. In EU they couldn't find. This is why they call international talent to come. This is a rule here to protect their economy. So every time they see an expert here, they have to know that they are doing a job that you cannot do. You are not skilled for that, or maybe you might be skilled for that, but you prefer to move to other countries, because out of that there's a lot of Hungarians living abroad, a lot of young Hungarian talented, skilled, living in Australia, live in Austria. If you go to Austria, it's full of Hungarian there. If you go to London, you have been seeing that London is the second city of Hungary because the population of Hungarians in London is more than Debrecen. They used to say that. So this is just so. I have so bad, but I think like from that moment now, like we have to speak up. So I started to speak up about everything that's happening against racism, and I think the solution for us is to create our community as a black people, as person of color, because it's undeniable. If you turn on the TV, you go to social media now, what's happening out of there? I don't want to name it. I don't want to name the people. Every fight now is against black and white. Everything they are doing, the immigrations protests in UK, in France, if you check it, is against people of color and white people. We need to, it's a time for action. We need to be unified. We need to create our community so that we can be strong. We need to speak up what's happening around us. People are not educated. We need to speak. We need to, every time that we are victims. Someone told me the racism doesn't exist. What existing is colorism. A white person told me that in public transport. It's colorism. But I like what he said, because there's only one human. The human from Asia, the human from Africa, from South America, from Europe. But because we are from different regions, and our DNA have been modified so that we can fit in that. This is why we keep our dark skin. Some people are very light, because if you believe in science, history, we are all one. We came from one place for millions of years.
Yeah, and I also believe that it's right and wrong. There's always, I think it's just right and wrong. There's a bad person, somebody does a bad thing, and someone does a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that if a person of color does something wrong, a black person has done something bad, or a white person has done something bad, a white person has done something bad. It's a person.
Exactly.
It's just right and wrong.
Exactly.
I think that the problem is that when somebody that is black commits a crime, they say a black person has committed a crime. But when a white person commits a crime, they say a white person has committed a crime. It's the distinction, it's the divide. They are focusing so much on the color instead of the crime. Because a black person committing a crime is not representing all the black people on earth. Mm-hmm. You know, a white person committing a crime, they are not representing
immigrants committing a crime. They are immigrants, but they don't see that. They only focus on the 0.0.0.1% of this immigrant who might come here as illegal, looking for opportunity, and they are desperate. They have, some people don't have idea what it is to be desperate, to be in a situation that you have to do something to survive.
I think Hungarians, they do know. I think Hungarians and many European countries, they do know, because Hungary has been colonized. They were colonized. Before, if you check the history of Hungary, they had the Ottoman Empire.
Okay.
And then they had also the Russians.
Yeah. So they have been influenced by all those
there are
empires.
There are a lot of Hungarians during the Second World War that they flee.
Yeah.
So if you go to America, there's a huge Hungarian population that they flee during the war.
Yeah.
So they do understand the refugee crisis.
Yeah.
Well, there are countries that have not experienced it, but most countries have experienced the refugee crisis because they are at some point in life they had to run away from bad situations, from war. So sometimes people act ignorant. It's just that they forget their history so fast.
Yeah.
When it doesn't affect them anymore.
Exactly.
You know, they forget that, oh, it also affected me at a particular time. You know, it can still affect you tomorrow, because when you look at the state of issues right now with the Russia and Ukraine, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Tomorrow they can still be. I'm not hoping for that, but if there's a war that breaks out here, the people have to flee from here.
Yeah.
They might be going to Africa.
Yeah.
So they're going to be refugees there.
Exactly.
And we have to welcome them.
Of course, we will welcome them.
Because we are humans.
We are humans. That's how we think.
People are fleeing the situation.
Yeah.
So I think that what we need to do is that we need to keep on and speaking about the unity, because I know that division is very important for certain corporations, because it's easier to manipulate people that are divided than to manipulate them when they are united.
Yeah.
So the division that is happening right now at this particular time, in terms of immigration, in terms of colorism, it's a very, 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 very selective and planned propaganda by a selective people.
Yeah.
They have planned this.
Yeah.
But they know that, hey, if the people ever unite, it's a dangerous thing.
Distract them so they can focus on that, so that they cannot be focused on how the inflation is higher, how they cannot afford to take care of their family, how they have to do 2 jobs to pay their bills. So people will not focus on that. People will focus on why there's so many people of color in the country, why this and why that. This is wrong debate. This is the wrong fight.
Yeah.
We understand, and we have to educate them. We have to. We are only one humans. Every time we see someone that is different, like how you said now, like I don't like to say, what do I think about Hungarian? For example, like, I cannot talk in general Hungarian. I met a lot of Hungarians who were nice, super open.
Yeah.
I've been lost many times per market doing grocery without asking any help to anyone, but someone just show up like that and ask me, do you need help? But the person was not working in the supermarket. But the person see me that, hey, this guy looks lost. The person just offered me his help many times like that in public transport, in the train. People just show up like that, helping me because I was looking for help. I can never say that in total, like Hungarians are this kind of people. Of course, everywhere they are nice people, they are bad people, and we just not have to focus to label people based on their origin, their status. Being immigrant, just not immigrant like what? Yes, someone who leave his country for another country. It's not an identity.
Yes.
It doesn't make who you are. We are people with stories. We were born somewhere, raised in some culture, went to university, have some culture, have some habit, have some, I don't know, stronger feelings. We're just not immigrant. Now they are just putting like immigrant is just an identity. It's not an identity. It's like, we just say something like a name, like, but it's not who we are. We are more than that. We are more than that. And when you want to see all over the world, Europe, there's a lot of immigration issue, but they are focused on the 0.1% of those people who maybe commit a crime to survive, who might do some business, who that are not legal, but they're doing it for survival. But they don't see all those engineers, all those scientists, all those doctors working, doing this job that you cannot do. Even that's people with higher degrees. Other side, other people without degrees working in supermarkets, taking out our trash, driving the public transport, all those things. People don't see that. They don't see that. They just focus on these few people who are desperate, who have some problems, who didn't have help, opportunity, but just doing something right now to survive. We are focused on that. So it's time for people to see different how the opinion they have on immigrants, especially here in Hungary. I don't know any expert in Hungary here who is not working.
Yeah.
They are all working. They are paying a lot of tax that we are not benefiting. We are paying a lot of things, contributing a lot for this tax, so that I have to say that so that some people can have their retirement. You go on the street, you see some people, excuse me to say, that your life is better than their life, but they just look at you like you are disgusting. But you are the reason why he can retire at 70. Exactly. If not, he will keep working, because majority of young people here who doesn't like the system move abroad. But someone have to work so that they can fill the government with the pocket, so that they pay the tax, they can pay the retirement. And who is doing that? The expert. They are doing it. And we cannot deny it. All those topics, and I used to say that to my fellow immigrant, you don't have to select yourself. They need you. They will always need you. You see what happened to Italy? This Giorgia Meloni? Mm-hmm. She's seeking for 500,000 people to work in Italy. She was the model of the far right. All the leaders, they were like, oh, this woman, she's so smart. She need it. Now, after she realized that they need immigrants. They need people to come to work. They cannot close everything.
I think that most economies,
they all need it.
Like in the United States of America and the UK and most of these big countries, they are built by immigrants.
Well,
whether you like it or not,
is a fact.
But what I want to and get out of you, if you can look into the camera, if you had an opportunity to face somebody that is not versed or familiarized with the truth or the proper information, and that person was an anti-immigrant or was an anti people that looked like him or her, if you had this opportunity to say something to them, something nice that probably can change them, what will you say?
Well, I will say that we are more than immigrants. We are people with story. We are people with culture. We are people with skills. Our life is not just being immigrant. And don't be afraid to embrace the difference. The difference makes us strong. And nothing is going to change in the future. We are just building a new future. Being together with people coming from different culture, it's just going to strong our culture. We are just going to create a new future. And we should just embrace it.
I like that. I think on that note, it's a beautiful rap. We can, because there's so much to talk about. But I'm going to have I need to have a follow up with this same conversation with you again at a different time. And I think that we have to keep on preaching unity, exchange of culture, and getting to know one another. And people should not be scared of learning something new. I know sometimes there's a phobia of the unknown. But the only way to break that fear is to try, is to learn, to experiment, because you never know what is behind your fear. The moment you step one foot behind and pass that and crush that fear, that might be the beginning of something beautiful and new. And I believe that the people are very afraid of the unknown, and that's why they call it xenophobia. Phobia is the fear of the unknown, and what people don't know, they fear. So we are here to just spread the good news, spread the good message that we are not monsters, we are human beings, the same like everyone else. We are not coming here to take away anyone's job. We're not coming here to take away anyone's country. We are people. You get to know us, and this podcast is about culture, people's experiences, connecting and spreading the good news. Thank you very much, Adam, for being part of this and beautiful session. I really enjoyed your time. And maybe just one more word of an positive affirmation from you. what would you say to somebody that has been a victim of an racism based on your experience? Do you have something to say to somebody that has been a victim to racism? And is there anything you can say, something uplifting to them?
I will just say that you don't have to worry about who you are. You are exactly who you need to be. You are exactly where you have to be. Don't let anyone to tell you that you are enough, that you are not smart enough, that you are not beautiful enough, that you cannot show up. Don't let anyone to tell you that you are exactly who and where you have to be. Just be there.
Thank you guys for staying to the end of today's episode. With your love and support, we will be able to keep on creating what you just watched. We believe that the world will be a better place if we get to know one another and keep on sharing beautiful stories about our uniqueness. Thank you guys. Subscribe and let me know what you think about this episode in the comment box. See you in the comment box. Take care. We love you.